Welcome back to Diplomacy and International Relations by Bastian Freiborg. A quick reminder, this podcast is AI-generated and fact-checked by Bastian Freiborg. Today, we're going deep into Danish politics, the embedswerk.
Okay.
They're the civil servants, behind the scenes, keeping the government running.
What's fascinating is they're right between politics and administration.
Yeah.
They're the expertise. They provide the continuity governments need, but it's a demanding political environment.
It's a tightrope walk, isn't it?
Yes.
They got to respond to the elected officials, the ministers setting the agenda, but also uphold democratic values, give impartial advice, and push back against pressure sometimes.
Exactly. It's that tension, that balance that we're diving into today.
Okay.
Can they stay independent with that pressure?
Right.
We'll look at sort of Persbelay being scapegoats when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Can they serve the people in this complex Danish system?
To help us, we're looking at Jørgen Grønnegård Christensen.
Yes.
Big name in Danish political science. His book Embedsfolk looks at the embedswerk's history, but also these modern challenges.
What's interesting is he's both criticized and defended them. He's pointed out where they went too far, but also fiercely defended their professionalism and commitment to democracy.
Like the Scat case.
Yes.
He said they had too much power overshadowing politicians, but now he's softened.
Right.
He's more nuanced.
It might be because he recently chaired the expert group on COVID lockdowns.
Oh, wow.
Firsthand look at their pressures.
So what's the biggest misconception he sees now about them?
He says people think they're too political, like an extension of the ruling party, and that, he says, threatens the rule of law and democracy.
That's a serious claim, but he backs it up.
Yes, he really emphasizes their commitment to democratic values, legality, truthfulness, professional expertise, and importantly, neutrality. More pressure, sure, but they're holding firm.
He's not saying there haven't been bad cases, though, right?
Right.
Stoltenberg, Tibet, the Mink scandal, those all raised concerns about their judgment, their independence.
He tackles those directly. He calls them serious missteps, mugsager. But exceptions, not the rule. Don't judge them all based on these.
So mistakes made, but overall committed to their values. Still, the pressure is undeniable. Why?
It's the minister's style now.
Oh.
Much more assertive in their mandate.
Okay.
Not just rubber stamping advice. They come in with their own agendas, their own calculations. It's a different dynamic. It demands more. They need to push back, offer critical analysis, even if it's not what the minister wants.
Not be obstructionist, but not yes men either.
Exactly. And that's where Barbara Bertelsen comes in.
Okay.
Head of the Department of the Prime Minister. She really shows this assertive advising.
She's been in the spotlight, especially after COVID and the Mink scandal.
Yeah, those really put her front and center. Lots of debate about her actions, but one thing's clear.
What's that?
Her philosophy is the embedswerk must give critical counterpressure.
So not just presenting options, but the risks, the unintended consequences. Really makes them think.
Exactly. But even then, can they be truly independent, truly experts?
One issue is how short department heads' tenures are these days. Does that impact their expertise, their ability to keep things consistent?
It's a valid concern. You need institutional memory, deep understanding to give truly insightful advice. Constant change makes that hard.
And then there's this no surprises rule. Unwritten, but it seems to guide them. What does that mean? How could it be a problem?
It means they try to avoid shocks, scandals that embarrass the government, disrupt things, anticipate problems, smooth things over, keep it all running smoothly.
Sounds reasonable, but doesn't that mean downplaying risks, not raising uncomfortable truths?
Exactly. That's the problem. It creates risk aversion. People hesitate to speak up, challenge, offer different views.
And that feeds into the whole sort of perspill it, right? They become scapegoats when things inevitably go wrong.
Precisely. The Elbilshagen, for example. Allegations were that intense political pressure led to rushed arms purchases. But when it went bad, who got blamed?
The civil servants.
Yes.
So they have to avoid surprises, keep ministers happy, but also give impartial, expert advice, even if it's critical. Tough spot.
It is. Does it mean they can't be a check on power, a guardian of democracy? But there's some good news amidst all this.
Oh, what's that?
The Dybvad Udvalget, the committee looking at politicians, civil servants, and media, found public trust in the embedswerk has gone UP.
Really?
From 37% in 2016 to 46% now.
Wow, that's a big jump. Why?
The report says a few things. One, the embedswerk has lots of expertise, legal, educational, procedural, and that's essential for good governance.
So people are seeing their value, even if they don't always agree with their decisions?
It seems so. But the report also knows the challenges. It says there needs to be balance, responding to politics while keeping integrity.
The classic dilemma. Sir Humphrey versus the handlanger. Wise advisor, not a puppet.
Exactly. So what does politicizing mean? Can advice ever be truly neutral?
Good question. Even in economics, there's interpretation, right? Experts disagree on a policy's impact based on their own views, their assumptions.
Absolutely. Data is one thing, but judgment calls are involved, and those can be swayed by personal values, political leanings. Add in not wanting to be the sore tipper, lines get blurry.
And the Dibbatutvanet found 16% of embeds folk admit to sometimes giving advice for partisan reasons.
Worrying, isn't it? Shows the pressure is real, affecting how some do their jobs.
And we can't ignore the media here. They shape how the public sees the embedsvac. And they love a good scandal.
Right.
The report said 41% of embeds folk think the media gets it wrong, focuses on the sensational stuff, not the everyday work.
Yeah, it's true. Media's gotta hold people accountable, but it can distort things too. Sensationalism sells, but isn't always accurate.
So how do we balance this? They got to be in tune with the political climate, the ministers, but also give objective advice, even if it's unpopular, goes against the agenda.
That's the big question. It comes down to trust, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can we trust them to handle this, uphold democracy, truly serve the people?
The report says public trust is going up, which is good. But like we said, there are still challenges, things to watch out for.
For sure. Can't be complacent. Got to hold them accountable, demand transparency, make sure they've got the space to give independent expert advice.
That's on all of us, citizens, journalists, policymakers. We got to be informed, engaged, ask the tough questions.
I think what we've learned today is this. A strong embedswerk, independent, ethical, that's vital for our democracy.
They're the experts, they protect the process, and in the end, they serve us, the people.
And now, with information moving so fast, all this political pressure, the divide's getting bigger, their role is even more important.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. How can we, as citizens in a democracy, support the embedswerk? How do we make sure they stay strong, independent, serving the people in the long run? Something to think about.